Anyway, she was wearing a black leather jacket, and she whipped her head around, looked at me, and then she runs up. She literally runs up to me, she gets in my personal space, puts her face this close to mine, and then goes,
Imagine you are quietly shopping, minding your own business, when suddenly a complete stranger approaches you in a way that leaves you like feeling uncomfortable, shocked and unsure what might happen next. I mean, how would you react in that situation? Would you stay calm, like walk away, or confront the situation? How would you do in that situation? Well, according to this woman's story, a routine trip to Target turned into an experience she says she will never forget in her life. Now, her account has sparked strong reactions and reopened the conversations about race, about community relations, and how people treat one another in public spaces, especially when they have different races. But before we go any further, take a moment to think about just how unexpected situation like this can be. What can we do? Today we're going to hear her side of the story, and as always, remember that respect, peace, and human dignity should come before anger and division. And trust me, some of the claims that this woman is making are the kind that leave people talking long after the story is over. So stay with me to the very end and decide for yourself what really stands out from her experience. Please, if this is your first time, please subscribe to join the conversation. Otherwise, let's hear her story.
"Hi, everyone. I am so upset by the things that are happening in America right now regarding Asian American abuse and assaults versus Black people. And I would like to add to the conversation as a mixed race Black woman, because I have went through some Asian assaults and East Asian assaults and happenings to myself in my personal life. And I would like to share my story. So what has happened to me is very upsetting, because I want to talk about some traumatic experiences I've had with the East Asian community. I grew up around white people, a lot of white people and East Asian people. I'm someone who identifies as Black, Native American, and South Asian. So South Asian meaning Desi, quote unquote, so not East Asian. Okay, so I believe in the Asian community in America, the East Asians usually have more power and privilege because of their proximity to whiteness. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how that proximity to whiteness and privilege has hurt Black people, and specifically me, in the situation I want to discuss with you today. So I've had two experiences, one more recent than the other, but basically I want to talk about a story time where an East Asian woman assaulted me at Target. So I was in Target shopping, and I was standing at the aisle for hair clips, hair accessories, and then there's an East Asian woman there with her daughter. Her daughter is white, or white presenting, so I'm assuming a mixed race white daughter. The only reason I bring that up is because she was an East Asian woman, and I'm assuming that her husband's white. So maybe that, I don't know, a part of me thinks maybe that influenced her racism. I don't know, but that's just what I think. Anyway, she was wearing a black leather jacket, and she whipped her head around, looked at me, and then she runs up. She literally runs up to me, she gets in my personal space, puts her face this close to mine, and then goes with her arms, she attempts, it looks like she was attempting to put her arms around me or assault, do something physical to me. So I walked away. I went to the police. They didn't do anything. And then I reported her to Target management. They probably didn't do anything either. So I want to bring this up because I am Black, and I know I'm mixed race, light skin, all of that, but I grew up, this basically happened near my predominantly white town that has a lot of East Asian people. I bring that up because I grew up there, and the people there, I don't want to say the name of the town, but they're very racist. I've had multiple racist incidents happen to me growing up, people, giving me dirty looks when I'm just walking, or, throwing things at me, stupid things like that. So I don't even like shopping there. And when this happened, this was when I was moving from, okay, so yeah, I was getting a call. And basically, I don't even like shopping there. But again, this was like a moving period. I was moving from that area to now I'm in a much nicer area where people have respect and decency, and there's a lot of black and brown people. So I shopped in that area. I knew I shouldn't have, because the people there are so racist and nasty, like customer service. But this wasn't even customer service. It was just a random stranger, an Asian woman, coming up to me wanting to fight me, and she basically assaulted me because I was a threat of physical violence. Again, I went to the police. I reported her to Target, but the fact that happened, and then this stuff is coming out now about East Asian people being racist, I'm just so surprised people didn't know that already. Maybe people did, but I don't know. I'm just surprised that people are so surprised. People are acting like they've never heard of this before. They're like, oh, like there's this East Asian influencer I follow, and I remember she said she was very defensive of East Asian racism or the rhetoric, and she was like, oh, people are against East Asians because an Asian person was racist to them once. I'm like, no, like a lot of East Asian people are very racist. Growing up in my town, people saw me with my big curly hair, and they saw me as a threat. There were barely any black people in my town. There's probably, or like hometown, there's probably barely any black people there now. I think there's more, like a few more, I don't know, from what I've seen, but like, I'm telling you, like, it was mostly white people, and then the East Asian people, and then the others, like me. And some Indian people, I guess, like some Desi people. But regardless, this is one of the many instances of this happening. And I'm saying in my personal life, this is an example of East Asian, I feel like, abuse and assault done towards me. I have another story for another video. That actually happened much more recently, and it might even come off as worse. But yeah, this stuff in the news, like, is not, like, it's just sad. It's very upsetting because East Asian people have had the privilege for the longest time of coming across as, like, innocent. I feel like to the white gaze, they're seen more as innocent, and they're the closest to whiteness. And I feel like a lot of them use and abuse that privilege a lot. Especially towards other minorities, like darker skinned minorities, even darker skinned Asian people. But even the darker skinned Asian people, I feel like have more privilege, like the East Asian people, versus like, the South Asian people have darker skin. And, like, there's like that hierarchy of privilege and racism within the Asian community. And this is not the first time that I've heard about East Asian racism and violence, and that I've experienced East Asian racism and violence. I actually have more incidences I would like to talk about in other videos. But yeah, I just want to say that this has been very upsetting, but I'm also, this boycott against the Asian businesses, I'm just like, it's about time. Like, it's about time that people are waking up to this idea of East Asian people being racist and assaulting people, hurting people. This is not like new to me. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving this one story. This is one story of the few that I would like to share about East Asians assaulting me or doing something very inappropriate or abusive toward me. So yeah, I just wanted to contribute to the conversation. What do you guys think? Have you also experienced East Asian racism firsthand and or assault firsthand from an East Asian person? Please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you.
I think it goes without saying that the entire Black community is extremely tired of seeing yet another Black kid lose his life over racism. I saw what happened with Cyrus versus Rick Chow in the court case, and I am absolutely disgusted. However, this was a long conversation coming. The anti-Blackness in the Asian community needs to be addressed, and before the Asians come at me, I'm Blasian, okay? So don't you dare try to call me racist, don't you dare try to call me anti-Asian, because y'all have to admit, you guys do not like Black people. You guys love kissing and licking and sucking that white man's boot. And I will never understand it. Black people have been shown time and time again that people of color solidarity does not exist. I don't blame Black people for only wanting to be referred to as Black, okay? Black people are Black because we have anti-Blackness in every single community, including our own even. The hatred for Black people is global. There is a slur for Black people in like almost every language. It's fucking crazy. It is just so insane how white supremacy has brainwashed the fuck out of the Asian community. Because last time, black people weren't the ones putting Asian people in internment camps. Black people weren't the ones bombing Asian countries. Black people weren't the ones enslaving and causing a genocide on an entire group of people. Black people weren't the ones colonizing the entire world. That was all white people, babe. So what the hell did we do? What did black people do to deserve this much hatred, this much racism from everybody, okay? I'm talking about white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, even Native Americans. Hell, literally every single group that isn't black. It's exhausting, it's draining. I hate how our children aren't seen as children. Cyrus was a baby. He was a boy. He was 14 fucking years old. Do you not understand how fucking young that is? But I bet you if it was a white kid, he would have never been accused of stealing. And even if Cyrus did steal that fucking water, you think it's worth it to kill somebody over fucking water? Really? And to chase someone longer than a fucking football field over water? It's sick. It's truly sick to know that literally no group has our back but our own. I don't blame black people for not wanting to support Asian-owned businesses, and I say this as a Blasian, okay, let me remind y'all. Because if we are such a threat, if you guys are just so afraid of us, so threatened by us because we are just such thugs, stop opening your businesses up in our neighborhoods. Oh wait, it's because y'all cannot open businesses in white neighborhoods because they don't want your asses there. Because they don't like y'all either. How do you all get that through your fucking head? I wish that people of color, black people, Asian people, Hispanic people can all come against white supremacy, but you guys all just seem to be brainwashed by it and all seem to want to uphold it because your hatred for black people is more strong than your want for change. We're done. I'm wishing so much love and so much support to Cyrus and his family and to all of the black families whose experienced loss due to racism.
And yes, the whole community, the whole Asian community should pay for that because you guys don't speak up. There's no one saying what happened was wrong, and Asian people making videos taunting black people saying, haha, look what we can get away with. That's fucking wrong. There's no one speaking up and saying, hey, like what my community is doing is fucking wrong. Which means all of you think the same way. Which means, like, if you're not able to be accountable for yourself, then that means that you agree with what they're saying. Like, haha, you can't do nothing about it. Yes, we can, and we will. And I hope the black community does do something about it because there's just no way you guys are gonna be playing in our fucking faces. And then forget about, oh, it's just the actions of two people. No, like whatever we do is a representation of us. Like, and if like somebody is of your community and you're not able to hold them accountable, because the black community shouldn't be the one holding them accountable. It should be the Asian community because you would want the best representation of yourself out there. And if somebody is on the internet make you guys look like a fool, then you call them out. You shame them and you make sure that they're taking accountability for their actions. But if you don't do that, then the black community is gonna have to come to your community and be like, how come you're letting your people step out of line? And that's what the boycotting is for. Because you guys are not calling them out. If they feel comfortable to say that, it's because they're like, well, my community is gonna back me up on my racism. So the boycotting is to make sure that you guys get the memo that no, if you're going to do something, you're going to pay consequences. And if you're not able to call out members of your own community and hold them accountable, then we're gonna do it for you.
Now, listening to the entire video, brothers and sisters, let's start with the first woman who says she was assaulted at the Target. Now, listening to her story, first thing that comes to my mind after listening to the story, is that we must be willing to put ourselves in her shoes. I mean, if what she describes, happened the way she experienced it, the way she explained it, then nobody should have to go through that. I think. Imagine going out for a normal day, expecting everything to be calm, to be okay. You just want to go and shop something somewhere, and suddenly something happens that leaves you shocked, uncomfortable, and unsure of what might happen next. Of course, regardless of race, nobody deserves that. Now, at the same time, I want to commend her for speaking up. Okay, it's always good to, speak up so that, at least the community can see what to do. People can see what to do. It's always good to voice up. Don't hide those things in you. They'll keep eating you. Too many people go through situations like this in silence. And the truth is, many stories never get told. Okay? As that, we assume that thing doesn't exist. The racism doesn't exist because nobody voices out. So whether it is racism, discrimination, or harassment, or intimidation, people should feel free to speak out. Whatever it is, as long as you feel like that thing doesn't make sense, it's not normal, it's not okay, then voice out. Because the more these experiences are brought into the open, the more honest our conversations become. And let me add something important here. We live in a very different era now. Not like before, not like decades, not like many years ago, like how our ancestors were living or were treated. Almost everyone has a phone in their hand. So whenever possible and whenever it is safe, document what is happening. These days, almost every phone has a camera. That camera is a tool, is a weapon. It can be used. It can make you safe. It can give you a testimony. Whenever something, happens, take a picture, record a video, capture the moment. This will help you. Not to create chaos, of course, not to provoke drama, but to preserve evidence. Next time, that will save you. Next time, that will help you. Because evidence helps separate fact from assumption. Evidence gives weight to testimony. Instead of just saying, she did this to me, or he did this to me. At least it's always good to be to make the situation self-explanatory. Once you give the video and everybody sees what that person did in that place, instead of you talking. Sometimes people may not believe you, may think you're just adding up. So please document wherever possible. And sometimes it is the difference between being believed and being ignored. I hope you get what I mean. Nobody should feel forced into silence when they believe something wrong has happened to them. People have voices now. People have tools now. People have platforms now, which is like, this is good. You have a phone and you have a platform, which means whatever happens, you can, share it right away. People can voice out and people can help you, find legal means or whatever way so you can be helped. And those tools can change how stories are heard and are told. I hope you get it. Now, I want to pause here for a moment because one viewer reaction really captured how strongly people are responding to this story. There is this comment where I got this video. This person says, I am aggravated for you. It takes a lot to voice out your feelings in situations like this. Stay strong, sissy. I like that. It's always good to voice out, like I say. That right there shows how emotionally charged and personal these things, these conversations have now become. Now, moving with caution into wider discussion, this story, opens up something else. There is another layer that starts to emerge. I mean, voices within broader conversation are beginning, to speak up from within their own communities. Some are acknowledging uncomfortability, okay? Some are acknowledging racism within their community, like Asian community, okay? They are saying, issues of anti-black racism that need to be addressed internally in the Asian community. That is, after that story, there were, some Asians also sharing some stories, some issues. And honestly, that kind of shift in tone is something many people are paying attention to. They don't want to miss. It raises important questions about accountability, about responsibility, about sincerity. But it also brings up a deeper question. Are these acknowledgements coming from a genuine reflection, like from the bottom of their hearts as Asians? or from external pressure building up around the boycotts or public reaction. Because sometimes somebody will just forgive, okay, just because there is a situation he wants to be solved. But that forgiveness, okay, that feeling of I'm sorry is not from the bottom of their hearts. So I mean that's a question that needs to be asked right now. Are we seeing real change of heart or response to pressure of these Asians trying to confront racism in their community? The truth is, only time will reveal that. We don't know. They may say this. They may look like maybe they're feeling guilty and they are feeling sorry, but what will they do after these things have happened? After they have said this, what action will they do within their community? Because the statements are easy. It's always easy to say, I'll do this, or to claim, but consistency over time is what proves intent. Will they keep voicing out? Will they keep confronting the racism in their community, as the black, as the Asian community? Anyone can speak when attention is high, but accountability is proven when there is no pressure forcing it. This is why people were asking, when this young boy was murdered by this Asian, the Asian community kept quiet. Now that there is this, transfer of wealth in the name of boycott, there is this, and now they are coming to confront what this Chinese man did. Okay, that's why we are saying that the accountability is proven when there is no force, like there is no pressure forcing it. And then another question naturally follows. If there is genuine accountability, will forgiveness fall from those who feel hurt or affected? After they have asked for forgiveness from black people, are black people going to end the boycott? And even deeper, does forgiveness automatically change decisions like boycotts? We don't know. It all depends on the black people. However, black people are avoiding to call it a boycott, because a boycott is something which is temporary. Nobody boycotts forever. Okay, once those things you wanted are fixed, the boycott is over. People can boycott because the salaries are low, they just want the increase. People can boycott because the working conditions are poor, they just want them to be improved. Once those things are they're fixed, the boycott ends there. But here, black people are not calling it a boycott as such. It's the transfer of wealth. It's the redirection of their money. So that's why it's doubtful that the boycott can be over, or people can start buying from Asians. We don't know. We really don't know. So I think time will prove whether this thing will happen. But for me, I love that many black people are fighting for this thing to be a permanent thing, because it's a transfer of wealth. Because trust, once damaged, it is not rebuilt overnight. It requires time, consistency, and visible change. And across all of this, one truth remains clear: racism must be addressed whenever it appears. Voicing out whenever you see somebody is doing something which is not normal. Silence only allows the harm to continue. Real progress comes when people confront uncomfortable truth head on, okay? Without fear, head on. Whenever you see somebody being racist, if you cannot, handle the situation to confront them, head on for your safety, it's okay. Just document. It's okay. That will also be good. But don't ever be quiet, because, like I'm saying, some quietness enlarges problems. Little progress comes when accountability is not avoided. A little progress comes when communities choose honesty over denial. My hope is that this entire conversation leads to reflection, not deeper division. That leads to accountability, not more hostility. And that is, something that encourages better understanding between people, either between this community and this community, or even within black community. Because somebody said, I love what this Asian man is said. Okay, not because he's appreciating the Asian man for daring black people to boycott, no, but because it's like a problem that has brought black people together. Somebody said, I've never seen black people coming together like this. So he was appreciating, what this man said. It's like a problem, like Christians say that God sometimes uses a problem in order to solve a certain issue. Okay, when God sees that people are not united, he may bring a problem. While everybody is worried about that problem and, is looking for ways to solve the problem, they end up coming together in order to confront that problem together. So I hope you get what I mean. Because at the end of the day, ordinary people everywhere want the same things. They want safety, they want dignity, they want fairness, they want respect. That's it. So I want to leave with you like this question: do you think like what we are seeing is genuine change in the Asian community? Are they going to change, or pressure driven, something that they're just being pressured to say this because of the boycott and public reaction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if this is your first time, please make sure to like, to subscribe, and to stay connected, because there is still much more to unpack from these stories. Let's expand, let's amplify the voices. Together we can end racism. So yeah, I'm proud you came. See you next time. Don't forget to share your views.